WWE Hall of Fame is the night before WrestleMania, and wow, I did not see this coming at all. We have the headline, the Hall of Fame, one of the more decorated athletes in the history of not only wrestling in general, but professional wrestling as well, as the only Olympic gold medalist in wrestling history, for professional wrestling at least. Kurt Angle will be the headliner of the 2017 WWE Hall of Fame. First of all, this is something many people have thought of, be long overdue, but would probably never happen due to Angle's leaving of WWE almost a decade ago. But that isn't to be the case now because this is going to actually happen. Let's look back a little bit on the career of Kurt Angle as far as amateur and professional wrestling is concerned. First off, for amateur wrestling, we'll just go off that really quickly because it's not that big of a list. For the Canadian Cup Championship in 1990 was the winner of that. And collegiate and high school and all that. Was a Pennsylvania State Wrestling Champion in 1987. I hope I don't butcher this. A Clarion University Freshman of the Year in 1988. For the International Federation of Associated Wrestling Styles, a FILA World Junior Freestyle Champion in 1988, and a World Championship gold medal in freestyle wrestling for 100 kilograms in 1995. A member of the International Sports Hall of Fame in 2016, so that was last year. For National Amateur Wrestling, was put in the National Amateur Wrestling Hall of Fame in 2001. For the NCAA, Division I All-American in 1990 to 1992, a Division I champion in 1990 and 1992, and most famously, the gold medal in freestyle wrestling in 1996, I believe also in the 100 kilogram weight class. I may be wrong on that. But he won it with a fucking broken neck. So, it doesn't matter what weight it was. That's a miracle in itself. And for USA Wrestling, just the US team, I guess, USA Junior Freestyle Champion in 1987, a USA Senior Freestyle Champion in 1995 and 96, a USA Wrestling Hall of Fame, Class 2001, so same year as the National Amateur Wrestling Hall of Fame, and the greatest shoot wrestler of all time, in their opinion. As far as professional wrestling is concerned, and wow, this first one is crazy thinking about what his career is now. For the Cauliflower Alley Club, the Future Legend Award in 2000. For the Inoki Jome Federation, the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Now keep in mind, this at the time was used in TNA, but it was, I believe Inoki had the rights to the IWGP title at the time. And Angle won it. I don't remember who exactly. I want to say Brock. Or he lost to the Brock, really. No, I remember now, because Brock was leaving Japan at that time. And who was he going to lose it to? Who else but Kurt Angle? Why not? They was later unified a couple months later in Japan with the original IWGP Heavyweight title, but it still says to this day that Angle is an IWGP Heavyweight Champion. For the International Wrestling Institute and Museum in 2012, the George Trangos Lufez Hall of Fame inductee in 2012, and a special honoree in 2015. For Power Pro Wrestling, for those who don't remember Power Pro Wrestling, it was what took over the USWA after USWA folded in Memphis, a former PPW Heavyweight Champion. For Pro Wrestling Illustrated, the Comeback of the Year in 2003, the Feud of the Year 2000 with Triple H, the Feud of the Year 2003 with Brock Lesnar, the Feud of the Year 2007 with that famous one in TNA with Samoa Joe, Most Inspirational Wrestler of the Year in 2001, Match of the Year 2003 with Brock Lesnar, and the famous Iron Man match on SmackDown, which was fucking great. Yeah, the network, go back and watch that. That was great to have that happen. Match of the Year 2005 with Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 21, one of the greatest matches of all time, no doubt. Most Hated Wrestler of the Year in 2000, Most Popular Wrestler of the Year in 2003, Rookie of the Year in 2000, Wrestler of the Year in 2003, and ranked number 1 in the top 500 in the PWA 500 in 2001. For SoCal Uncensored, match of the year 2000 against Christopher Daniels, which is, if you can find it, it's a great match from Ultimate Pro. For TNA, and this is where it gets controversial in a way, because technically, Kurt Angle is the final NWA World Heavyweight Champion in the TNA era. However, the NWA seceded from TNA before the match took place, but with Christian having the physical belt, the match took place. It was a match between Sting, Angle, and Christian, and Angle won the match as proclaimed the world champion. But, however, that world title, along with the world tag team titles for the NWA, were stripped of TNA for not being able to not defending them in the traditional NWA setting as we know today and knew back in the day. So technically, Angle is the NWA World Heavyweight Champion, although it's never recognized. But just gonna throw that in there just for the hell of it. As far as TNA is concerned, for the rest of the stuff, he did a 6-time TNA World Heavyweight Champion, a 1-time X Division Champion, a 2-time Tag Team Champion with Sting and AJ Styles. The Sting one is because it was with Samoa Joe originally, but Angle beat Joe for the belt, as well as the tag belts, as well as the X Division belt versus the world title, and the IWGP title, meaning he had all the belts at that one time, which is something unprecedented, never happened again. Well, technically, because of Lashley recently, but they didn't have the tag belts, so that doesn't count. A King of the Mountain in 2007 and 2009. The second ever TNA Hall of Famer. So, this is the second year in a row where a TNA Hall of Famer is now a WWE Hall of Famer. Last year was Sting, obviously. And the second ever TNA Triple Crown Champion. For WWE, a former World Heavyweight Champion back when the World title and the WWE title were separated. A former WCW Champion. A former WCW United States Champion. A former WWF/WWE Champion 4 times. Former WWF European Champion. Former WWF Hardcore Champion. Former WWF Intercontinental Champion, which is the point where holding the Intercontinental and the European title was once proclaimed as the Eurocontinental Champion, because Angle held both the European and Intercontinental at the same time. A former WWE Tag Team Champion back when they were on SmackDown with Chris Benoit, although that probably won't be mentioned in the Hall of Fame because of Benoit, but that's understood for another time. A 2000 King of the Ring winner, of course the Hall of Fame this year. The 10th Triple Crown Champion in history, and the 5th Grand Slam Champion in history, under the old and the new modern day Grand Slam of the WWE. And finally, for the Wrestler Observer newsletter, Best Gimmick in 2000, Best on Interviews 2002, Best Technical Wrestler in 2002. Obviously, technical wrestling is great for a former Olympic gold medalist. Feud of the Year 2003 with Brock Lesnar. Match of the Year with Benoit versus Edge and Rey Mysterio, which was the tag title match, I believe it was the final to crown the tag team champions in No Mercy 2002, which was fucking great. Again, it's another match to watch for those who have not seen Kurt Angle. Most Improved in 2000. Most Outstanding Wrestler in 2001 to 2003. Probably have to cut it off here for a second, and we'll be right back.